Welcome 7th grade, Chapter 3, Lesson 2. Alright, hopefully we see good reviews for the video reviews. Today we're worried about moving cellular materials. It's by Matthew, Jared, and Allen. They did create this, and this is one of the better ones that I've had done. So we have many ways to move things. These will be important for homework tomorrow, or today. Passive transport. Passive transport is the movement of substances through the cell membrane without the input of energy. Passive transport. It just happens without any energy being there. Think of a screen. The wind blows through the screen without any energy. Passive transport. The cell takes in oxygen and other substances from their environment using passive transport. The cell membrane is like a window screen. Then there's another process called diffusion. Diffusion is the random movement of molecules from an area with more to an area with none. An area with more to an area with none. This happens is how you get oxygen. So oxygen moves from an area of more in your lungs to an area of none in your blood. And then when your blood gets to the cells, it goes from an area of more in the cell or in the blood to an area of none in the cell. So diffusion goes from an area of more to an area of none or an area of less. Okay? Always goes from more to less. Then there's osmosis. Osmosis is very similar to diffusion, but the diffusion, oh look, they even use it, of water through a cell membrane. And if it's diffusion, it is always going from more to less to try to equalize them. Okay? So osmosis talks specifically about water. Water movement is going to go from an area of more water to less water, and when the water gets over here, it's going to try to push back that way. That's why you get currents in the ocean. Okay? Then, when an input of energy is required, it's not passive transport, but it's active transport. All right? Active transport is when we have to use energy to move materials through a cell. So think about this. Wind goes through a screen, no problem. But if I was trying to take Jell-O and push it through a screen, I would have to put some force behind it to get it through that screen or cut a hole in the screen, right? That's what active transport is. It is using the energy, like I had to use the force, to push the Jell-O through the screen. Now, endocytosis and exocytosis are both active transport. These both take energy. Endo kind of sounds like in. Exo kind of sounds like exit, right? Endocytosis. Process of taking substance into the cell by surrounding with the cell membrane. That's endocytosis. Endocytosis means goes into. Then there's exocytosis. Exocytosis is the process of removing substances from a cell by removing the cell membrane. Out of the cell. Remove the cell or exit the cell. Now, they have found a wonderful video, and hopefully it will come up. If it does not, what we will do is we'll put it on your Google Classroom, and you'll be able to get it from there. All right? We're going to watch that process happen. All right, we're going to get rid of flow here in a little bit. All right, we want to skip ad now. Skip ad.
Cells also use energy to transfer materials in bulk, but this time
see it coming down?
Under the sacs that hold their contents under wraps. In a process called endocytosis, part of the surface membrane encloses the material, forming a sac which brings the contents into the cell's interior. In the opposite process, called exocytosis, the sac moves through the cytoplasm to the membrane. releases the contents.
That's what they talk about. I will upload that to Google Classroom as well. See you guys.